Hello, this is Lolly, and I have another project for my Fairy Traveler's Notebook series, and this one is to make pockets for the Traveler's Notebook. This is just cardstock, it's not laminated. There are so many ways of doing this, and I just had to think about how I wanted mine to look, and so I came up with this pattern. And so whatever size you have in your notebook you want to make your cover, that this pocket holder, whatever, as tall as your insert and as wide when you open it up. So this one is 6.5 by 7.5 for a personal size. Now for the pocket, what I did, as you see, is a wrap around here. And so that wrap around, if you look like this, I made it a little bigger than my prototype here. This is what it looks like. I make this with flaps, put the flaps under, and I glue it right around there like that. And so I decided I wanted it a little taller, and so that's what I've done here. So here's the 6.5 by 7.5 to make another one. And these are the pockets, 3.5 inches by 6. And so what we're going to do first is score all of these right down the middle. So our pockets are going to get scored at 3, or right, whatever half is for you, and then rotate it and do 1/2 inch from one of the ends. So I'm going to do this at 3, since it's 3.5 inches long. So again, right in the middle, flip it, and then do 1/2 inch away from one of the long ends. And by the way, you want this face up, so I would score it this way. Oops. I want to make sure I get this in here right. 3 3/4, and that's our only score line on that one. So I don't have to do anything with that yet. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go ahead and burnish these so that I can see where my score lines are. And the only thing I need to do now is on this flap, I want to cut away right there in the center, like that, a little triangle, and then trim these edges off like a little angle as well. So on both of these, you want to angle your scissors toward their handle toward the center of each pocket and put a little notch in it. So I'll do that again. So this is the center of this pocket. I'm going to angle my handle towards the center, handle towards the center, center of this one, handle towards the center, handle towards the center. Now the only thing is, if you notice on this, I did do a little angle here. I really just kind of went like this and cut. You could do a perfect edge with a ruler if you want, but then I saved the little corner and I brought it over to the next one, and I used that to cut that as well. Okay, let's move all those aside. It's really fast construction here. So all I have to do is glue the flaps, and you do want to use a liquid glue on this instead of double-sided tape. Now all I'm going to do now is fold this and put it right around the end right there like that. And I'm going to clip this bottom. Now if you like to have a really good visual here, you could, of where this separates from this, you could edge this with distress inks. You could also put some little edging of lace or something around there. Now, you could use, for the pockets, a completely different cardstock. It looks really cute in here to have the contrast. So if you want that contrast all over, you can use a completely different paper in the line so that this would be a contrast as well. This is really cute, and I think I may try a different one later on. But there's what the back of that one looks like. And I think I'm going to use the Crocodile corner rounder and go ahead and do the 1/4 inch on these corners here. And now that this is done, because Scotch tacky glue is pretty fast, I can actually do this too, because it will cut through that entire thickness of paper, and it's not going to ruin my pocket. Right there. The pocket will be just fine even with that. So I want to do this. And then that gives us this. Another thing you could do, sometimes when you have these these card stocks that go into your planner, the elastic can really tear in this crease right here. So one of the things you can do is go ahead and do that one as well. Let me get this out of the way. And so now when your elastics go on, it's got this little notch here. So that's what catches the elastics. Now you could put these around an insert, you could put it inside an insert, you could put them by themselves, you can layer these like this so you have more than one pocket in an elastic. And you notice how when you start stacking them, the inside one sticks out just a pinch. So if you want to avoid that and you want them all flushed edges, what you can do is the one that's going to be on the inside, you could trim off just a sliver of this, not even a 1/16 of an inch or maybe a 1/16 of an inch, before you put these pockets on there. So let's get these into the journal. Right here. I'm really glad I put those notches in there. And so there I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pockets right there. And don't forget that these can all be decorated, and these little pockets here can be decorated. Like, I like these little postage stamps here, and I think now, if you don't mind having a chunky book, what you can do is you can put this up a little bit, using some foam tape or something, but it will add bulk to your notebook. If you don't want the bulk, then just go ahead and glue this in like it is. Cute. I really like how that spruced up those pockets. Now, one thing I was thinking about too on this, and I don't know if this will work, but we'll see. I just got this from the thrift store, and I thought if I could use it on this, it might accent that pocket there. Let's give it a shot. Now it's at the end is frayed, so I'm going to be careful. Let's see, I'm going to put something in here so I can easily spot what are the dimensions of this pocket, because it's really hard to see where it ends. Now I used a generous amount of the Fabri-Tac because it's hard to get it in a really fine line. I'm going to pull this out to make sure it's not sticking to my pocket, and just let this dry for a sec. But you can already see I love how that gave dimension to the pocket to really stick it out, since this pocket was so flush with that. There. Doesn't that really stick out now? It looks much better to me. Okay. I'm going to let that dry, and then I will come around and I think I'll do the reverse pocket over here the same way, and think about whether I want to decorate these or not. But it's not necessary. I don't have to decorate every single pocket. But I do know I want to put that gold trim right on this one after this dries up really well. So I'm going to let that set. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope that that gives you an idea for making pockets. Just don't forget, you can make the pocket farther into here. I just figured when the book goes to close, the shorter that this is on width, the better it will be to not catch. And you can always make it a little taller if you want as well, or even put a slit in it for a card. Anyway, very fun. And when this is dry and I do the other pocket, I'm going to do a flip through of the whole journal to show you the end result of my fairy journal. Thank you for watching.